Alright, so this is a Seven Sisters reading, also known as the Daughters of Atlas. I don't know the folk story about it, but from what I understand, nobody was worthy of Atlas's daughters because they didn't want to take on his burden holding up the earth, so he decided to make sure that his daughters were out of reach. So that's the base summary of the whole thing. If I do run over on the third group, which I probably will, I will be doing a part 2, which will just be for group 3, which is fine. I like explaining things, so that's kind of why I'm doing that way, so, you know. Anyway, the eldest sister is the sister of Serenity, also of Solitary. We have the second sister, or daughter, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to do sisters because it's easier. The second sister wards off storms. The third sister is the dark sister, an exploration of the darker side of the world, or the darker side of humanity. And then we have the fourth sister, which is the sister who appears after grief, the one who will help you overcome sadness. We have the fifth sister, which is the twinkling star, the creative spark, the motivation that inspires you. She is also known as Muse. That kind of thing. Number 6, we have the companion of Atlas, or Artemis. So it's kind of like Sailor Venus type vibes. An exploration of your spirituality. So this is kind of putting you in a positive light, putting you in positive energy, making sure that you reach manifestation levels that allow you to get what you need out of life. That's kind of what this sister, Daughter of Atlas, does. And then the final one, which is the Lost Sister. This is the actual star that's a little bit further away, further out from the Dipper cycle. So, the Lost Sister is something you need to recover or release. As far as I know, the youngest sister is kind of that wanderer, also known as, kind of in that Persephone energy of, I want to pick flowers today, so I'm going to go pick flowers today type of energy, and going too far into the woods and getting, abducted, that type of energy. So, there's a lot to unpack. So let's go into the first group, if you don't mind. I love doing storytelling. It's my life. Alright, so let's see. We have the first sister, the eldest sister, the sister of Serenity, and Solitary. How to spend time alone, self-reflective. So, we have the King of Pentacles in reverse, financial and health in reverse. So it can be dogmatic, greedy, only does what is expected of them, indulgence, materialistic, maybe sensual in some way, shape, or form, is overly focused on finances. So this could be, you're kind of trying to get your coin. You might be working 2 jobs. You might be working a couple of jobs. So you don't really have time for too much of anything else. So you're doing self-meditation, self-awareness, stuff like that. So anyway, we have number 2 with the second sister, which is who wards off storms, how you find peace. We have the Sun in reverse. The Sun in reverse is happiness and family in reverse. So, blind to the truth, you overlook the negative in situations, you're naive, negativity, depression, sadness, you don't look for what could go wrong in the scenario. So there could be a lot of stuff going on that is, too much sometimes. And maybe you just try not to get too much into people's business. You still see your friends as good people, stuff like that. Like, even if they fight amongst themselves, like, that type of thing. But you also need to look at the reality of what could go wrong, because it does provide caution so that nothing's lost. Which, if you overlook it, there's a big problem in that. Alright, anyway, let's go on to the third sister. An exploration of your shadow side. So we have the Chariots. The Chariot is fame and achievement, fame and fortune, direction, being a source of inspiration, being an authority, travel and movement, career, control, willpower, and having drive. So it could be a career also. So you might be very in tune with your career. There might be some darker aspects of your career that you don't tell anybody about, or depression or insecurities. So there's also that as well. Usually the Chariot doesn't carry too many bad things, but it does have two directions. So it does fame and fortune for some reason. So there's that. And then we have the fourth sister. The fourth sister is, one who appears after grief, is overcome by sadness. We have Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is luck. So good things on repeat, getting good results, lottery and gambling wins, change, evident faith, and destiny and fate being in your favor, cycles. So there's going to be a bit of a karmic cycle going on here, though, so just be aware of that. So, I feel like this is going to be a bit of a break from usual cycles you're under. I feel like you're going to go through depression, or like a point where you're going to have to choose between two things, and just out of sheer, questionability whether you can win the lottery or not, you're going to play the lottery to see if you win. And you might win a little bit of money, maybe $400, maybe the whole jackpot. It would be very interesting, I think. But usually, isn't that how it happens? Like, when you kind of don't want it, you play the lottery just for fun and you get a little bit of money. But when you need it, maybe sometimes you don't get as much as you thought you would. You get enough to get by to the next paycheck, which is crazy. But, hopefully you get the big jackpot, alright? We get number 5. The fifth sister. The fifth sister is the twinkling star, the creative spark, the motivation that inspires you. We have the Page of Swords. A Page of Swords in reverse is strife and logic in reverse. So gossips with ill intent, spies on people. Manipulation is two-faced, all talk, deception. Spends too much time watching and judging someone else. So you might have that kind of looky-loo. If somebody else is doing it, I'm going to do it too. And you really don't have a creative outlet or a creative thing that you do just on your own. So you might not be a self-starter as far as creativity is concerned. You might need to see what somebody else is doing, how they're successful, in order to do it yourself. Which a lot of artists do that, where they'll kind of make an answering sequence to somebody else's artwork. I think my art teacher had a word for that, which I'm not going to say right now. But, yeah, it wasn't a good word. Let's just put it to you that way. Anyway, we have number 6 with the sixth sister. We have companion to Artemis, an exploration in your spirituality. We have the Six of Swords. So strife and logic again. With travel, transition, movements in a positive direction. Progress made, leaving behind certain things. Results on a horizon, transition, and moving on. So there might be a moving on sequence to this. There might be a transition or a metamorphosis or a change of location, time, and place. Okay? So, could be reality. Reality's fun. But I do feel like it's a change in your life that you might have not been expecting, or maybe you expected, but it came very quickly than you originally expected. So, there's that. Then we have the final sister, which is the lost one. So we have something you need to recover or release, which is the Three of Swords in reverse. Strife and logic. So heartache, recovery, separation, forgiveness, infidelity, miscarriage, moving on, fertility issues. So there's a bit of not being able to be abundant in your life, either through pregnancy or other things. Or maybe you're not a self-starter, you kind of have to have like some type of guidance somewhere else. But I do feel like there's kind of a, you need somebody else to proceed forward, and then you kind of are along for the ride. Maybe you haven't had a job in a while, and you're kind of, it's kind of hard to get back into going into a career. So, you might have to be looking for a career or a job pretty soon, which I'm going to be honest with you, there's not too many jobs that people are qualified for right now, so it's going to be a little bit of slim pickings there. You might have to take on a Amazon packing job, which isn't bad, but it's not exactly the healthiest, because it's like everybody's miserable because there's no sunshine. But it's, it might be something you need to do, Maybe you're not qualified for that type of work either, so it might be a little bit of a shock to you too. So just hopefully everything works out and you kind of find a niche that you'd be good at, or something that you can do with your time that will be beneficial. It's an interesting world we live in, so just try to find something that would be beneficial. Anyway, group 1, hopefully this helps you out in some way, shape, or form. It's an interesting way to do a in-depth look at somebody's process in life, but it does help some people who need it. So hopefully it helped you. Hopefully there's a lot of stuff that you're, kind of focusing on and trying to make better in your own life so that you can proceed forward. I know it's hard sometimes, but life is a journey, so, you kind of have to strap in for that. Anyway, I will see you in the next video, alright? Later. Alright, group 2. We have, let's see, I have too many papers stuck on my stuff. Alright, so, let's see. We have the first sister, the eldest, Serenity and Solidarity. So, let's see. We have the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is work and business, so good collaborations, working with others, using other people's platforms, partners that share the workload. So there could be a lot of stuff going on. There might also be some self-reflection here that you like to work with others, or you might be more extroverted than you thought originally. Some people are, and they're just like, oh, I'm an introvert. But being an extrovert is so much more fun. I must say. Anyway, so we have sister number 2. Sister number 2 is the one that wards off storms. So, how you find peace? We have the 8 of Pentacles. The 8 of Pentacles is finance and health, mastery of a subject, being an expert, making money from your passions, money from teaching, apprenticeship, authority in your niche, passion, and high standards. So you kind of might want to be, one of those people that writes a book. Some people, they're talking on YouTube. But honestly, if I miss one sector of somebody's expertise, I'm totally thrown off. I need to read the book first before I listen to somebody's YouTube channel on something that's so precise or exact, or how they do things with certain how-tos, If I miss one, I miss the whole thing, Anyway, number 3, we have the 3rd sister with an exploration of the shadow side of your personality with the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is finance and health, is too slow to act, works without reward, is a wet blanket, having no fun, obsessive, waits too long, works too hard, laziness, all work and no play. So there's somebody here who kind of works and works and works. Maybe doesn't get the benefit of the doubt. Maybe is trying to be an influencer. Found out it was harder than it looks. Especially being a tarot reader. If you're a tarot reader for any amount of time, you get shit on. You get this. You get that. It's like having a job in retail, really. And so don't try this. If you feel like you can handle being ridiculed for how you believe and how you read cards, then by all means, please do. But if you don't like ridicule or criticization, it's going to happen. It's either going to happen to your face or online. So you pick your fire, It's interesting. Blow-ups that people have over cards, believe it or not. Anyway, we have sister number 4. Sister number 4 is the one who appears after grief, how to overcome sadness. That's what she loves to do. Alright, so we have the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. The 5 of Pentacles deals with finance and health, so poverty, bankruptcy, financial devastation, improvement, a point in poor health, I would say. Home loss, recovery, sickness, disease, clarity, disaster, and business. So there could have been a lot of stuff that happened within a matter of weeks or days. Maybe you lost your job, your house, and all this other stuff started happening. And it's just a downward slant and spiral. So it's kind of how you go about that situation, whether it's you moving out of a situation or it's kind of you trying to find your bearings again. You have to figure out how you're going to pick yourself up, okay? This, again, life is a journey, and a journey starts with what you decide to do next, okay? So hopefully that helps some people. I understand that losing things is not the best. I myself have, so I understand that. But it's what you do next that helps, even if it's small. Alright, let's go to the 5th sister. 5th sister is the twinkling star, the creative spark, the inspiration, the motivation that inspires you. We have 9 of Pentacles. The 9 of Pentacles is finance and health. You have a lot of financial health stuff going on, so it's all about money and getting ahead for you, I think. So major purchases, sums of money, new homes, cars, having more than enough money, rewards, luxury, furniture, fruit of your labor. So A lot of work being put in, probably a lot of business things, a lot of things going on. Because you went from 0 to 60 or over that within your lifespan. So you probably were in a poor situation when you were younger, and then you went into making your own money and trying to fulfill dreams that you've had since you were a kid, like that type of thing. That kind of, wouldn't it be cool to have this type of energy, which isn't bad because it motivates you to work harder. But and it's a manifesting of, I want this, so I'm gonna go full force towards that, okay, or I'm gonna go full force towards something that will lead me into that type of thing and allow me to be available to get that, type of thing. Alright, so we have the sixth sister. The sixth sister is a companion of Artemis, an exploration in your spirituality, which is inner strength. So inner strength, courage, and strength, however you want to put that. So remaining strong, compassionate, caring for others, focus, bravery, finding your inner strength in general, having a strong sense of responsibility. So you feel responsible for everybody who you know and whose life you touch or introspection, influence. Okay, so you're trying to be an inspiration towards everyone, which is very admirable. And it's good stuff. It's only good stuff. Anyway, we have the lost sister, or the one that in the constellation is off by herself. So we have the youngest sister. Something you need to recover or release. We have the Six of Wands in reverse. The Six of Wands in reverse is work and business in reverse. So success which goes to your head, excess pride, lack of recognition, thinking you know better than everybody else, punishment, appearing ignorant. So there could be a bit of, I don't want to say it, like, it could be an immaturity level, but it's like, if you were to put it in such a way that was well, thought out, it will not sound ignorant. It's kind of what word you put into the sentence is what you get out of it. Like, if you say it in such a way where it's not discouraging to other people, or it's not, playing to the point of ego, I feel like it would work a lot better. Like, it would be like, I did this because I didn't have anything growing up, and I wanted this. So I went after it, and this is what I got instead. Kind of a joke. But, kind of lighthearted stuff like that, people kind of gravitate towards. If you're very like, oh, me, I'm gonna flex on everybody because I didn't get this stuff growing up, it kind of makes you sound like an asshole. So, it depends of how you word things. So we do have overskilled, looking for better job conditions, foreign diplomacy. We have pressure at work, so it probably is a big, intense situation that you're working in. And it also could be a learning center. Everybody has a hard time at a learning center. So, character building situation. So, everything's a character building situation because you yourself have to do self-editing. Especially working with kids or people that are trying to lose weight. I used to be a yoga teacher, so that gives you some introspection about me. But, yeah, it's very, it's touchy subjects, especially when somebody doesn't get the material or they're having a hard time doing something that you find relatively easy. You kind of have to have patience as well as, an understanding, which helps you build character, helps other people build character, and, you know, allows results to happen, you know. And even if somebody doesn't get it on the first go, they usually get it on the 10th. Okay, and that's very, you know, it's a promising sight to see. Okay. Anyway, group 2, this is where I leave you. Hopefully this is somewhat inspirational. Doesn't matter what you do in life, just remember that life is a journey, and sometimes people need patience so that they can understand what they're doing wrong and how they would understand it. You might need to teach them in a different way, or you might have to understand their point of view, and then you'll understand how they learn and how they perceive things. Anyway, hopefully this helped you out in some way, shape, or form. I need a drink of water. But, yeah, it's a change in perspective that helps in certain cases. And how you word things and all this other stuff, you know. And you're trying to bring people to you. You're not trying to leave people out in the cold or make them not like you. Alright, you're trying to be more likable and more marketable. You're trying to market your person, people, and yourself to other person, people, and selves. If I wrote anything. But yes, try that, and hopefully you will be successful in inspiring other people. Okay? Anyway, later.